All right, guys, my name is Kr3wcial, Kr3wcial, and I am an artist, producer, engineer, hip-hop lyricist, all those wonderful things, and I am from Algiers, New Orleans. So we are present, we are here to talk about the Stunting Garniture by Roberto Lugo. So when I got that, I also am a NOMA cohort presidency member. So they told me I could do these artist talks. I was like, cool, I'm gonna find a piece that relates to me and something I can see myself in, so I feel more motivated to talk about it. And I wandered all around the museum, upstairs, downstairs, old pictures, new pictures, different things. And then on my walk through Art Deco, these decorative arts, you know, house stuff that people used to have back in the day, I found these wonderful pieces. And at first I was like, why are they stashed all the way back here? How come I had to walk so far to find something that, you know, I can see myself in? But then I learned more about the pieces, and because they are, you know, certain aspects of them that relate to these 19th century vases and pots and everything, that's kind of why they exist right in the place they exist. So then I learned about Roberto Lugo, the artist. He is from, I will be referring to these notes a couple of times that I've been jotting, so bear with me. He is from Kensington, Philadelphia, born to two Puerto Rican parents. He's a poet, he's a spoken word artist, he's an activist, all those wonderful things, and he often works with museums. So this isn't his first piece. He also has a Biggest Smalls piece, he has an Erykah Badu piece, everything like that. And those are great. I looked them up. If you can take a second to Google them, you can find them. But usually what his pieces do is comment on culture, hip hop, you know, black activism and things like that, and how they exist in and within and on top of the community. So you get these pieces. The first one over here features Louis Armstrong. He's got this trumpet, and everything that he sculpts is made out of reclaimed clay that he usually gets from the community. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got those from the dirt out here, but I still don't know that. This one is the No Limit tank. We can talk about No Limit in a second. And this one is Weezy F Baby, you know, best rapper alive. I got Wayne on my shirt. And the shirt was actually taken by Polo Silk, who has been featured in here. He's an amazing photographer. He actually grew up and lived around all of these people. And we've worked together, so that's great to exist in that piece of history as it's progressing in real time. So, he also started in graffiti, which I personally feel like you can see kind of the graffiti-esque nature of the paint that's on the pillars that he has. He's got these different colors and everything. So he found pottery, and then afterwards he got his MFA from Penn State. He's got a BFA from Kansas City Art Institute, and he's always talking, you know, about his contemporary take on modern ceramics. So that is what we're looking at right now. And the thing that drew me to them essentially was the gold. I really like gold. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels in my body. You know, it's a precious metal. It is great. So you see the trumpet, when you get the sound of Louis Armstrong, like the Louis Armstrong International Airport. So when you fly into one of the few airports not named after a politician or something like that. It's actually named after a black New Orleanian who was from here and known for creating his art. The gold on the tank is, I don't know if most people know that, but it's not just the No Limit tank, it's the strength of P. Miller and Master P and everything he was able to do. He's one of the greatest hip-hop entrepreneurs that existed in our time. He is responsible for also, putting on his family and getting everybody else mansions and houses and TV shows and cereal boxes and action figures. He did it all very early. He actually played for the Charlotte Hornets. He was doing a bunch of different things. So you got the mastermind of Master P. He also had a meeting with Michael Jackson's lawyer. Said he spent his last $500 to find out about music ownership, because at the time nobody who existed in hip-hop was getting the right amount of money. Most of the time right now people aren't getting the right type of compensation for their work, so that isn't a new or unfamiliar concept. But he was one of the first people who other rappers will tell you, most of the rappers in the game, Puff Daddy, Tupac and all of these people, Snoop Dogg will tell you, before Master P was getting money, nobody was getting money. So he was able to introduce that to these wonderful people. And then we have Lil Wayne, and although it is always like, you know, gangster rap, and it's always violence, and that's always the perception when it comes down to entertainment and how it's perceived. I'm from here, so I grew up listening to a lot younger stories of Wayne, and when he was 16, talking about what it's like to live in a violent community, to live around drug addicts, to live around drug dealers, to move within that. Now, what hits the radio and what makes people move their bodies and their feet that's a different job and a different conversation. That's a whole different thing that's going on. But what I feel, and what I often feel from a lot of these expressive artists from certain communities, is the fact that they need to have pride in their neighborhoods, and they need to have pride in the situations that they are in, or else you just end up in a perpetual cycle of self-hate. So when I see these chains, and when I see gold, and when I see gold teeth, to me they represent a little more freedom. They don't look like chains as in being shackled down. They look like more like chains, you know, like change that you can provide to yourself and the community. You can show people that you can be on TV. They're about to do the Super Bowl next year down here. If y'all are going to be here for Mardi Gras, it's the week before. That's going to be crazy. I'm pretty sure they're petitioning to have Lil Wayne and or Cash Money and No Limit perform at the Super Bowl, which would be great. So we're going to see what that is going to. Now these pots also exist on top of these classical pillars, which I feel like is like a reference to how these cultural icons exist on top of the pillars of community and, you know, old world hierarchies and everything like that, and how they're kind of crumbling under the weight of them. So it's like crushing them and making them, I don't know, succumb to the strength of what these things are. And they kind of are different from the 19th century pots, because these things were owned by, you know, super wealthy uptown people. They're called Vieux Orleans, which is, Vieux Paris, which is Old Paris. So it was specifically for that, which is funny to me because all of this music still ends up in homes, and it always ends up kind of in its own realm of Art Deco, because people have these albums, people have these t-shirts, people have these posters and all these wonderful things. Master P has an action figure. That's still crazy to me because it was back in the day when people had Toy Story dolls and everything like that. And now if you go to certain like sneaker conventions, these dolls will sell for thousands of dollars because they were so rare to get something like that at that time. So these pillars are also featuring this art style called Kintsugi, which is a Japanese practice of art healing, when they take pottery that's broken and then they put it together with gold or silver or platinum, and then they celebrate the breaks because that's part of the journey and it's part of the recovery and everything like that. So, you know, more gold. Love me some gold. Lugo has also been featured in the Met. He also has, like, when he first dropped this piece here, it had its own. Just for one thing, this is a museum in New Orleans, so it gets to feature a lot of things. So when you see references of New Orleans, it always makes me feel good. Once again, my name is Kr3wcial. Can y'all say it again with me? Kr3wcial! 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 Thank you for being present.